ship will self-destruct in 20 seconds. This is your last chance to push the cancellation button.
Cancellation button? Hurry! Where is it? Where is it? It's gotta be here. Out of order! Fuck! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding.
There's the other end! Faster!
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Don't touch that dial. It's Leo Valdez
Give him the skibbity paps.
and Hunter Horn
We're gonna need a wood motel.
with your pregame warm-up.
Yo, DJ, drop that beat.
Pick of the week, they be deadlocks. Most of these shows is dead wrong. PGW for the W. 100 count bands on his bed top. On our podcast, getting topped off. Swinging this stick like it's top golf. I'ma bust in the face. Then I'ma read you a verse. From Philippians verse. Put the cash in your purse.
Hey everyone, how is it going?
It is going well. How about you, Nikita? How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well. I am better than okay though. I'll be honest.
Of course you are.
You are feeling better?
I am better than okay. Let me tell you why I am better than okay. Listen.
Wait, we can't. You're already diving too deep into this.
Okay. Thank you, Nikita. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Take
all
your
right,
Ritalin.
let's go ahead.
Take the Ritalin.
Oh man.
Well, let me officially welcome everyone to the pregame warm-up. I'm Leo from the Lion's Den. You can catch my show at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then you can catch our wonderful Hunter Horn over here on the side of the screen. He has his check-in every now and again. You got to stay tuned to the PGW so you know when that's going to happen. And remember, you can always do that by subscribing to the pregame warm-up here on YouTube. And you can also follow me exclusively at FoundNation7356. And with us always is the lovely Nikita. How are you today?
Hi, guys. I'm happy to be here with you guys. This is like my highlight of my Mondays, talking shit with both of you. I love being hired as a mediator on Mondays. We have some juicy shits. And
I know. Let me tell you, not only
I came ready.
You did. No, hey, let me tell you, not only did they take down the Bucks, it looks like the Knicks are gonna have their hands full too.
Yeah, I like
I mean,
it.
what's the word? Is Jimmy playing game 2? Do we know that yet?
I think he's gonna fight this ankle sprain that he's on. He's he's one of those guys that, it's kind of a surprise.
He's a diehard.
In the NBA, guys,
finish the job.
He wants to finish the job, and this is rare in the NBA because you have players like look at Anthony Davis. Okay, listen, if you bite your tongue off, then yeah, you're out for the playoffs. He bit his tongue, and now he's gonna miss the whole playoff series.
No.
Well,
my tongue hurts, Coach.
Listen, I don't pretend to know what hurts and what doesn't hurt. But I am going to say that Randall being out for game 1 was a big factor. The Knicks could not nail anything from 3 points, and they deserved to lose the game. They couldn't even hand down their free throws. They were 13% on free throws. So you know what? Congratulations to the Heat for winning this game. But sometimes you can say, well, did the Heat win or did the Knicks lose? In a sense that, like, did they drop the ball? And I think that the Knicks lost because the Heat came out at halftime to play this game. They said, you know what, we may be down, but we're not out. They are a come from behind team. They are known to be that kind of chippy. And I think that the Knicks walked out at halftime thinking that they had it in the bag, and they didn't. They lost it. They lost the bag because they gave it away. But with Randall coming back for for game 2, now against the Heat, I think even if Jimmy comes back, I think the Knicks they're starting to take this series very seriously, which is something they should have done in game 1. And you know what? It cost them. It cost them home court advantage. It's going to cost them later on. So thanks guys for proving you are who everybody thinks you are. That you, when you think you have it in the bag, you like to put your feet up and like to lose games.
You muted yourself, Nikita.
Sorry, guys. Can you hear me? Sorry. So LeBron and the Lakers are moving on against the Warriors. Is the West getting too wild, or is it just a glimpse down Geriatric Park?
Geriatric Park.
Geriatric Park. Gosh. Well, you know what? This is even a good one for Nikita because, even with,
I think LeBron is gonna choke.
You think, yeah, that's what I was waiting for. That's what I think. Not only the casual NBA fan thinks, but I really think that's what's gonna happen. I don't think it happens this
Not yet.
But I think in the Western Conference Final, LeBron finally that old age catches up to him because it's very hard to sustain the amount of success that he has. Consistency. And now with AD out, I don't think D'Lo and Austin Reeves are enough to get this done.
Yeah,
what do you
I
think,
agree.
Neil?
I agree wholeheartedly. I think that the Warriors came out of the Kings series on fire. Honestly, they were down significantly against the Kings, and they came back. They proved everybody that they are the team that they are still a live contender. Quite honestly, I think there is right now there's an ongoing debate that just occurred right before the series is set to start, which is whether or not Stephen Curry is better than LeBron. And in some cases, I say yes. He's far more clutch. He's far more dependable, and I guess he's a real leader in his team. Whereas in there have been instances where LeBron is the leader, and in this case with the Lakers, he is the leader, but he shoulders too much to himself, and sometimes
he thinks he's
that
on the
doesn't
court
always
by
work out.
himself.
Correct.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fair assessment.
Absolutely. Sorry, I had one of my inside sources asking for the link to the show. It's the one that pays the rent at my house too, so I had to take the time to send it to them.
No, it's okay. It's youtube.com/@pregame warmup. That's all. That if they put that in, it'll take them straight to the show.
My dad's 61, man. So, no, sorry, 66.
You're gonna be sleeping outside, Hunter.
I hope not. It's
now after graduation, that's it.
I know.
Hunter's
complaining that the nights are still in the 40s and the 50s.
Yeah,
up here.
49 degrees tonight.
What?
The summer. Yeah. Right? You see her face? That's my face.
We are in the beautiful part of Florida, the northern part of Florida.
Yeah, well, the area of Florida that I was in, my numbers were way off from yours.
Yeah, I know. It's like them 85 degrees summer nights.
It was so hot today here, but it was a really great
it's been cool here. Today was nice though. Today was in it was 75, 76.
I know, like they said, like these warm fronts are running through. But this winter was
bad, Nikita. Nikita, it got down to 9 degrees. There was ice on the lakes.
What the fuck? We're not in the same state.
Right?
I need to tell everybody.
I moved to.
I need to tell everybody that moved down here from like New York and all of these like crazy ass states that they need to go to where in the woods to where you guys are.
No. Keep them going to West Palm. Keep them going to West Palm. Thanks very much, but no thanks.
But yeah, keep them down there. We don't want those people.
Like the traffic is so crazy. It's insane. Too many people are here. Like we're over.
Oh, that's the one thing we love up here.
Yeah, like rush hour traffic is like 4 cars at a red light.
Oh my God, that sounds so bittersweet.
It's amazing, Nikita.
There's only one drawback. Like if you got to go to Walmart, it's
5 o'clock in the.
All right.
Well, yeah, it's a bit to drive the Leos, but like if it's 4:30, 5 o'clock, I know I can still go to the store, and it's not gonna take me, 45 minutes.
Wait, this doesn't even make any sense. I've never heard of anything.
Hunter lives down the street from a Publix. Now in Miami, you live down the street from the Publix, 5 minutes away. It takes you 30 minutes to get there.
100%.
No,
It still takes me 5 minutes.
It's 5 minutes.
That's
5 minutes is
impressive.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, PSA,
It's the shell
everybody
shock.
move to
Move to Tallahassee, east
No, don't,
of the
no.
Seminole
Move
River.
to 2A. Move to 2A.
No,
Move
no,
to
no, no, no.
Greenway.
No. There's no internet here. No. Move to
We don't have
Tallahassee.
internet.
And if
We have phones.
and if you want, just go south to Panama City. They love people in Panama
No,
City.
go to
you
Orlando.
know?
Go to Orlando. Go send them to
No,
Orlando.
It is. It's really bad, guys.
No,
We
listen,
are,
the
like,
white sandy
overcast.
beaches of Port St.
hear about
Joe.
it.
Come on.
It's a difference up here though. It really is. I was shell shocked when I used to visit Leo. I used to be like, all right, man, I gotta leave by like 3:30, so that way I'm home by 5. And he's like, there's no traffic. What do you mean? And I left his house at 5 o'clock one day, and I got home at like 5:45, and I was like, wow, yeah, there really
That's
is no traffic.
impressive. That
Yeah,
is really
there is.
impressive, guys. So we still have some more NBA. The Denver Nuggets have got a game on the Phoenix Suns. Are the Nuggets proving their status in the West, or what?
You know what it is, Leo? You know what it
They're
is?
doing good.
I think the Suns may have given up too much of their bench for KD. Because I think the Nuggets may have the deeper bench, therefore the more rested guys in this series. What do you guys think?
I think that the Suns, how do I put this? The Suns love to play offense, and so do the Nuggets. And because the Denver bench comes in a lot more fresh, you have fresh arms that drop buckets. When your arms are tired, you drop less buckets, and that's just the reality. They've already shown in this game that they're not going to apply any real defense to the Nuggets, that they're going to try and go pound for pound and point for point, and they can't keep up. They don't have enough arms to get there. Like that's the reality. Like they're dropping from in first and the second quarter, the third quarter, you can start seeing a slowdown.
The momentum falls back. For
Their
sure.
momentum goes completely by the wayside, mainly because like the Suns they don't have the bench to keep up with to do that on offense. So if the Suns expect to win, they actually have to lock down the Nuggets in the first quarter and keep them from scoring. But that might mean that the Suns, their scoring numbers also go down as well.
I expect the Suns to win though tonight. I'll be honest with you. I think they split. They go back to
have
Phoenix
to.
now.
We need to
Yeah,
make this
I
interesting.
agree with Nikita there. Absolutely, they have to. Going down 2-0 to the Nuggets, even with the series shifting back to Phoenix, that's dicey, Leo.
I know, but I think that like I said, if they're going to try and go point for point and bucket for bucket, it's Denver series. Hands down. The Suns have to pressure and they have to force the Nuggets to miss. In other words, they have to bring in the compound so that the Nuggets bring in the bricks. And if they can do that and they can actually keep their scoring numbers up, then they can at least the games will be closer, and the Nuggets with a close game against the Suns can win. It's a higher percentage for them to win.
One of them needs to just bring the defense and the offense if they want to win this series.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what they say, Leo?
And just do one.
You got to score more points than your opponent while making sure they don't score more points than you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's kind of the way
Yeah.
it goes.
All right, thanks, Booger. Really appreciate that. We're gonna keep on rolling along.
What about the Boston Celtics? They're having their first game against the 76ers. Who do you guys think is going to come up on top?
I'll start here. I'm gonna say right now the Celtics are gonna win Game 1. Why?
Okay.
Yeah,
Embiid's not playing.
Yeah, no Embiid. I was going to say the same exact thing. I was going to say, listen, I don't like the Celtics, but I ain't stupid either. And without Joel Embiid, slam Celtics money line. Like, there's probably no money to be made. They're so probably favored. But I really don't see Listen. James Harden would have to have a revival and have like a 50, 60 point game for
Yeah.
for the Sixers
Yeah,
to
I
win
mean,
this
even
shit.
him having a big game is one thing. Him having a big game and Embiid having his presence, then I say the Sixers win the series. But if Embiid is out, I'm sorry, this is going to go to the Celtics. The only thing that
Boston, Miami in the finals again.
right, but what I honestly think that what the 76ers are counting on is if they can defensively lock down the Celtics from scoring from 3 points. Because if they can keep the Celtics up top, the Celtics are not 3-point shooters. They're actually 29th in the league. They're one of the worst teams shooting from downtown. So if the Sixers defense can keep them from getting into the paint, then yeah, you're talking about. And I think that's what they're basically going to rely on, and then Harden having a good game. But Harden is a roller coaster, especially when he's by himself and he puts the game on his shoulders. He is very inconsistent. So I would say the Celtics would win because that defense will crumble come the third period. Sorry, come that period, it's over. That's just plain and simple.
Yeah, I agree.
Who do you have, Hunter?
Yeah, I've got the Celtics winning game 1. If Joel Embiid comes back for the series, I've got the Sixers winning the series.
Correct.
Because like Leo said, his presence changes everything on the court. But tonight, man, I'm telling you, Sixer fans, just take it on the chin, understand what it's gonna be. I'm telling you, it's going to be a 40-point blowout. I really think the Celtics are going to manhandle the Sixers here. Joel Embiid is the life of the Philadelphia Sixers. When he's on the court, nothing can move through that, that lower key.
Yeah, 'cause look, right now, it basically is that the score right now at this moment it's 20-19 with the Celtics up by 1 point, and in reality, guess how they're winning? Rebounds. They have 5 rebounds to Philadelphia's 1. They have without that presence in the center, forget it. It's the Celtics game in the paint.
It'll be close at halftime, and then by the end of the third, the Celtics will be up by 20. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
I don't know, guys. On another note, I just feel like the NBA playoffs are. How do I say this? So I feel like it's just like a money machine. Like
that's what the play-in is. The play-in into the playoffs does work and it has its function, but you're absolutely right. It is a money machine. Like it's just.
I don't know. I feel like it's rigged sometimes. I don't know.
Says the Heat fan who's 1 game up on the Knicks on the second round of the playoffs. You're gonna claim that the game is rigged? What in your favor?
We won. When you win,
no,
you say
I'm not. I'm speaking from like a business aspect, not as a fan or anything. I just feel like.
Well, yeah, but no, Vegas.
Playoffs.
I don't know. Vegas, let me tell you, a lot of people lost a lot of money on the Boston Bruins.
Listen, I just think like hitting things to game 7, that's bringing in so much money. I feel kind of like it's like all mapped out, all planned out. Not from like a sports viewer, more from like the business aspect of things.
I think it's just advantageous. The way that they'll set it up is that they will take advantage of any situation that comes their way. They know how to market their business. They're going to move it in such a way. It's unlike baseball, where basketball is very star-driven, so they've spread out the stars. And the stars are all making it into the playoffs. I mean, there's only been one big star exit, and that was, of course, is Giannis Antetokounmpo. But you still have Jimmy Butler, you still have Bam Adebayo, you still have a lot. Your stars are still moving around. Your the people who draw in your crowds, no matter what. So the NBA, I guess, when they stepped in and they kind of stopped the whole super team thing from happening and letting people kind of like move around a little bit, and then that spread out, like when the Golden State Warriors nearly broke up. Stuff like that happens because now they're going to start market. But you're right. Any situation they find themselves, man, they're definitely going to make their money. and they know how to
For
do it.
sure. We're taking every game to game 7 over here.
They want, yeah, they
Like,
want-
we're
they
gonna
want-
stir the pot up and we're gonna make some money in the process.
Right, but it is as Hunter was.
Genius.
I'm sorry, I know Hunter, you want to say something, but I'll just say this really quick. Hunter was saying in the last show that a lot of people underestimated the Heat because the Heat they're number 8,
We were
and it's a
underdogs.
lie. You may be number 8, but they were the top of their division. They were winning solid games. What? They're only 4 games really behind the Knicks. Like in
the
reality,
only thing that-
they're a very these are even playoffs. What I was saying is that the playoffs are top heavy, and I'm only seeing other than the Nuggets, everybody else at the top is being lobbed off.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that goes into it.
Talking about locked off.
All right, Nikita, go ahead, lead him in.
Okay,
I'll even give him the floor.
Fine. We're gonna give you your 5 minutes of fame, Hunter. Hunter, we give you the floor. However, we have to ask: Panthers taking out the Bruins, is this really good news for the Cats?
Of course, it's good news.
Oh
How could it not be good news?
my
I
goodness.
think the Panthers are beat up, and they're running a little low on gas to go get a cup. Maybe. Is Toronto going to be tough? Absolutely.
Of course they are. Yes. They're
But-
coming in hot and heavy.
Let me tell you, the Panthers are flying right now. They've got the confidence. The locker room believes they can get it done. When a team gets going and they start playing their best hockey come playoff time, teams are dangerous. That's when you want to peak the most, let me tell you, because hockey is a game of pure momentum. It's even more momentous than basketball, because in the flip of moments, you can lose games and you can give up 2, 3, 4 goals in the matter of a few minutes just by getting out of your headspace. They pull you out of position. Your lines get fucked up. All of a sudden now it's like, shit, what's going on? This was huge. The Panthers clawed to get into the playoffs, and now not only did they claw into the playoffs, they took out arguably the greatest hockey team to ever grace the ice. And they didn't just take them out. They took them out on their own ice in overtime.
They put in the work for sure.
They put in the work. They out-hustled, they outplayed, and they out-coached the Bruins. I give it to them, man.
I will say it like
Maurice.
this. The Panthers are doing what they wanted to do basically last year. But even if, let's say, I don't think the Maple Leafs are going to sweep them. I think the Maple Leafs will probably win this series. It could go 7. To me, it could probably go 6 because the Panthers are very beat up getting out of this series.
Yeah, out of this.
But quite honestly, my hat's off to the Panthers just by winning the way that they won. They decided to put their gloves down and fight these guys pound for pound without
They didn't just lie down
even
and take the sweep.
Exactly. They went and they gave everything they had. I saw there were times when it looked like they were lost. It looked like they were stuck on the ice, but they managed to get things behind. I know that every Bruins fan is trying to find other reasons as to why this happened. It's plain and simple. Playoff hockey is playoff hockey. And anything can happen in the playoffs when it comes to hockey. That's just the truth.
On paper, it was a mismatch. On the ice,
Yep.
It was Panthers in 7. That's great, man. I love hockey.
Before we move on to the NFL, the slugfest that is the NHL playoffs throughout the entire league is smoothing itself out. What has the biggest story so far? Again, Hunter.
I'll let Leo take this one first since I took the last one.
All right. Well, I think the big one is actually the Avs being asked to leave, and I mean even the Flames losing their head coach, Sutter getting fired. But I think just not having the Avalanche, the Avalanche they're not the heavy favorite because you have the Kraken and you also have the Golden Knights that are doing their thing, but the Avs were that team that were supposed to be like. They were supposed to be in the Western Conference playoffs. They're not. They're to play for the Western Conference championship. They're not going to be there. They were basically exited out. I mean, even the Kings
Yeah,
doing
a lot of
what they did,
offensive
it was
drive.
just it was pretty amazing to watch. It's one thing when you watch a hockey game. It's just like Hunter says. It doesn't matter what's on paper. What matters is what you're doing on the ice. And when you see the Avs when they were playing, it's like it's they were
And
almost
hustle.
in shock. Like they were lost by the fact that they were being manhandled by a team that really was just like in the Panthers, but I think the Panthers are better than the Kings. But that's beside the point. I'm just saying that the Avalanche looked at this team
Well, the
like this
Avalanche
was,
played the Kings.
huh?
The Avalanche played the Kraken.
The Kraken. I think with
Okay.
the
I know. I thought. No. I couldn't. I didn't know if you were talking about the Oilers or the Kings losing.
no, it's just with the Avalanche really had they had the best shot to get to the conference championship game.
I like the Knights, man. More.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, but if people were as all like remember the experts talk and it was the
It was supposed
Avalanche
to
to
be
at least
Knights
get there.
Avalanche.
Correct.
Well, it's
And
supposed to
now
be Knights
and now
Avalanche.
and now it could be anybody with the Knights. And I think honestly I think even the Knights have a chance of losing their own series as well.
Shit.
To me it may be smoothing over, but there's still a slugfest in the West. Honestly.
So it's what Knights Oilers, right?
Correct.
I like the Knights, man. I like the Knights.
I like the Knights just because the Oilers still don't have goaltending. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
but the Oilers making it as far as they have without goaltending, and with Connor McDavid almost stuck on the ice because he's not able to do anything.
Listen, the Oilers won that game 6 should have been won by the Kings. There should have been a game 7. If Skinner's stick doesn't break, the Oilers don't score the goal there at the end. Like that's the goaltender's stick legit broke. Like what are you supposed to do?
Listen, I know that you like to quote Booger. I'm gonna quote one Vin Diesel. It don't
Okay.
matter if you win by an inch or a mile. A win
It's a
is a
win.
win.
Yeah, I know.
W.
Listen, a win is a win. And that stick was definitely not as strong as family. I'll tell you that much.
In the beginning
I
of the
asked you
show,
not to
Hunter,
make me
Leo,
laugh.
Leo said, "Don't make him laugh."
I told him no promises.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right. Let's keep it. That was good.
It's-
That was good. I
You
like
gotta,
that
you
one.
gotta
I like
see it too, because you can tell the stick had been broken for long before, and he hadn't noticed. And it's like, did you just wrap stick or tape around it and say "fuck it"?
And
Like,
said, "Fuck it, let me
you can
just."
see where it's broken at, like where the tape is fresh. You know, the coach was like, I told him to get him a new skate. It's like when Le'Veon Bell wouldn't change his cleats. Remember, Mike Tomlin lost it on him.
Yeah.
So I told you. That's why I told you wear these cleats.
Yeah.
Let's talk
Yeah, if you don't.
about-
Some players and their idiosyncrasies, man.
And yeah,
This is my lucky stick.
they're
until it's not.
superstitious.
Well,
Yep.
not even that. It's this guy was like arguing with his coach on the length of cleats to wear, and he gets a handoff, and he has a wide open field to run a touchdown in, and he just slips and falls.
Yeah.
Does that play like a factor? How?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you're certain turf, certain areas. Okay, if you run in Miami, the turf is a lot softer.
Okay.
If you run in, let's say Minnesota didn't have artificial turf, their turf is tougher.
say New England.
It's rough. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like New England. Well, not even because New England's turf is still soft. I mean, considering, but if you're running in the snow, you're wearing different cleats
Green
even
Bay.
then. Yeah. But
So,
like if you're
yeah,
running,
like
like there's
Lambeau
different
Field.
cleats
Lambeau
even for
Field is
running on
like
artificial turf.
concrete,
You
they
can't
say.
use regular cleats on artificial turf.
Oh, so these guys have to like switch out their cleats, like depending on where they're going.
Yeah, like you could keep the shoe. It's just a
That's
different
why they
cleat.
practice
It's
on
a
the
different
field
attachment
beforehand
on
too,
your
so
shoe.
they
Attachment
can
in the
get a
bottom.
feel for which shoes they want to use and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some players will use deeper treads because they feel like they cut different. Other players will want to use shorter ones for. It's the same with hockey. You know the blades they skate on, Nikita. They all are cut at different lengths depending on the player's height,
Oh my goodness,
their
I had
weight,
no
how
idea.
they like the turn. Yeah, every cut is different. Like mine was 3 9 ninth, 16th of an inch.
Yeah, it's kind of like a wizard and a
It's
wand.
tailored.
The wand
It's
chooses
tailored
the
to
wizard,
you.
right? Right.
Yeah, basically. So you
That's
just, as you
impressive.
progress, you find your edge. Same with football players. Basketball players probably, I don't know, like they find their favorite laces. I don't
Well,
know.
no, they'll different high tops grab their ankles differently.
Yeah, I noticed
Uh,
that they were
they
different.
the cushioning, because remember, not everybody a foot, if especially if like their hips are turned or if they've suffered injuries, then the inserts are different, all kinds of stuff like that. Sometimes we think, oh, they're just being flashy. Yeah, they're being flashy, but they're custom shoes
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
they're built for their
Whatever's
feet.
going on in
Yeah,
that shoe is made for them.
correct.
Wow, that is so impressive. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
baseball players, they like choosing their own bats.
their own bats and
Yeah.
stuff. The hockey players,
Ash,
always,
birch. Yeah,
yeah, no one hockey stick is the same.
What?
Like, yeah, like every player has a
Those don't come
different.
standard?
Every hockey player, when you get your, now mind you, when you're a kid, you use the standard. Every hockey player in the NHL has a different curve to their stick, different tape, different this. Yeah, it's all
your position, your height determines the kind of stick you get. If you're a short guy with a standard stick,
your weight,
come on.
everything about your playing style determines on the flexibility of your stick and stuff like that. Because some players like to try to use their stick to
Yeah,
lean
this
on,
is
to keep them up.
right. Like with quarterbacks, this is why running quarterbacks it's very dangerous to have a quarterback who can run. Because as elusive as they are, the reason that they are as elusive as they are is because they're wearing less padding. So they're actually subject to more injuries. So that's why it's very scary when a quarterback takes a hit, especially after they try to like run up the middle or something like that.
Yeah,
that's why they
that's why
slide.
they don't
They don't
slide.
slide because they're wimps. They're sliding because they get hit different. It's a different kind of pain because it's a different kind of padding altogether.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for that. That was impressive.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah, no, there's a lot that goes into the game of sports, the equipment wise. That's why the people, they always made fun of the equipment managers and even the sports
They have a big
hydration
role.
managers. Even the hydration managers and whatnot, but they all have a role.
I'm the water boy.
Yeah, the
Hey,
water boys part of that
Science
team.
now. It's a science now. Have you seen that biofuel on the bench? That stuff is serious.
Yeah, like
Have you had that
like
yet?
Gatorade was
Have you had that
actually
at Publix yet? The
Gatorade actually
biofuel?
comes out of
It's
the
good.
University of Florida in Gainesville because they were testing out a drink
Well, yeah.
that would actually hydrate players that were in the
You
Florida
gotta try this
swamp playing.
biofuel.
Yeah,
You gotta try the biofuel, man. The
yeah,
biofuel,
same thing.
It's like legal meth.
Oh my goodness.
Kept
Well,
me up for 4 days straight.
let's talk some football, guys.
All right.
The NFL draft was over the weekend, guys. I'm sure you both watched it, glued. I only watched one day of it.
And now
You watched that first round, baby.
fiancé-
First.
And now my fiance is a fucking Patriots fan.
Oh shit! What happened?
I'm sure Leo
Congratulations.
knows why. I'm sure Leo knows why. Because they drafted a Colombian player. She's like, babe, do you care if I'm a Patriots fan? I'm like, no, but why are you going to be a Patriots fan? And she's like, oh, they drafted this guy. He's Colombian. And
Now
I'm
we
like,
have a problem.
I'm like, that's okay. That's fine. You want to be translocational. That's fine. Go be 6 and 11 with Remy.
Uh-oh.
Ouch.
We don't
Shots
know, we
fired
don't know.
across
This-
the bow.
The season hasn't started
Patriots
yet. Let's
fan.
not talk shit.
Yeah,
But
well-
who passed? Better yet, who failed?
Okay. Before Hunter goes off on talking about the Dolphins for yet another 30 minutes. Let's go ahead really quick and actually go over the actual draft rundown. And I think that it pains me to say, but a lot of people are saying that the winners of the draft are the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was mainly because they picked up Jalen Carter and
They drafted the whole Georgia team.
yeah, basically, they drafted the entire Georgia defense, and they got the ones from last year, and so it's basically it's the University of Georgia has now all moved to Philadelphia, and if their defense was a problem last year for everybody, it just got a lot worse. The only thing I can really say is that they really didn't make a lot of improvements on offense. As a matter of fact, they took away from a lot of their offense. So I'm not counting on the Eagles, excuse me, to make it past any real position into the playoffs, mainly because they're not going to be able to score, but they're definitely going to keep teams out of the end zone. That's for sure.
Okay. And as for seeing the draft, Leo, who do you think can have some at least potential to go to the Super Bowl?
Well, the team that actually did the best, in my opinion, the team that actually did the best was the Pittsburgh Steelers. But they're not going to see a return on investment for at least another 2 years, because they draft well, but they're not doing well. They don't have enough cap space to pick anybody else up. So right now they're just in the middle of team building. Kenny Pickett is going to be a rebuild quarterback. He's not going to have a very long career. He's going to be kind of like the Cordell Stewart of of what the Steelers had before Big Ben came up. But I think in the end, the Steelers, they had, if you get like what they needed compared to what they got in the draft, they actually filled in all of the blanks.
Yeah.
But where it all goes bad, as far as like who's actually going to be the better team, who got better to get into the playoffs. I mean, even the Chiefs did, and the Bills did. The Bills got Kincaid, a standout tight end. They got some pretty stout guys too. So I think between the Bills and the Chiefs and your typical teams, I think everybody pulled out well. The Ravens did really well in keeping Lamar, which keeps the AFC North competitive with the Bengals and all that stuff. Everybody kind of did their job. The team that had the biggest takeaway for me was, of course, the Tennessee Titans picking up Will Levis, because they're trying to find anybody and anybody out of anywhere to replace Ryan Tannehill. So,
Ready, Hunter? Who do you think passed and who do you think failed?
Well,
do you still think that the Dolphins are going to the Super Bowl?
oh, absolutely.
Okay, all
Absolutely.
right. You
And the
stand your
Dolphins
ground on that
and the
one.
Dolphins just got wealthier with Achane, man. That guy is a monster. That's a wide receiver out the run at the backfield. Dolphins looking juicy. But hang on. The team that I think did the worst this draft was honestly the Detroit Lions.
yes, yep. They are considered the laughing stock right now in the NFL.
I think the
agree.
Detroit Lions took a hat and they mixed up names and they just started picking people at random. I think I missed their phone call, bro. I think they wanted to draft me.
They needed you on the team?
They needed me.
They needed
So, because there were guys that they picked that I was just there like, who?
So, what do you think about the Jahmyr Gibbs pick for the Lions?
That's the only one that I liked.
you. Oh, okay.
I mean, for everything that they needed, they didn't get any. Like, like there's draft needs, and then
They
you
didn't
get
get
who
anything
fills
that
in those
they
needs.
needed,
They got
especially
nobody to
with-
fill in any of their needs.
Especially with what's his name? That's gonna be probably out this next season because he bet on a sport that wasn't football while he was in the parking lot at the facility or something. I don't know. They were like, yeah. So and they don't even. I don't know, bro. The Lions hurt me because I was telling everybody, I'm like, the Lions could finally at least make the playoffs.
No.
2 steps backwards.
No,
The
the
Dolphins.
the number one killer of most NFL teams is the executive office.
Yeah,
That is
but
for
it doesn't really matter because let me tell you, the next year, the rest of the other 31 NFL teams should just take the year off because it's the Dolphins Super Bowl. Dolphins going undefeated again and win it all.
So what are you going to say when they lose in week 1?
We're gonna have to record this show.
They're not go. Then then we have a funny recap, I guess.
We're
What are
gonna
you
have
gonna
to
say
do a
when
recap of this episode.
they're undefeated and they win the Super Bowl? And I tell you, guess what, Leo? We're gonna put this little clip right here into our intro, and you're gonna have to listen to it every single day until the new football season.
That's a good idea.
Right? Yeah. And so you're just gonna have to listen to welcome to the pregame warm up. This is your host. The Dolphins will be undefeated.
I really hope though that is the case.
No, I don't. I think they're gonna have a really good season. I don't. Like I said, I think I see them going about 10-5, if anything, 11-4. But I think the Bills did get stronger with this draft. And quite honestly, the Jets, they've picked up a lot of talent. Let's see what they can do with it, because you got all this talent, but I don't think they have really the coaching staff for that talent. So let's see what happens there. And then I think the Patriots are just going to be subpar. They'll be an 8-9 team, if anything, because they're still just reeling back, trying to figure out what their next move is going to be as far as getting an identity as a team is concerned. Because if they're really sticking with Mac Jones, then they're going to have to really beef up their defense.
Exactly. No, the Patriots are cooked. It's not a good time to be a Patriot fan.
Spoken like a true Dolphin.
About this.
Exactly, Leo. You're damn right.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could keep talking. I can say honestly that both teams made the playoffs last year. So
the Patriots made the playoffs last year?
No, they didn't. You guys did.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm sorry.
It's
the Bills. It was the Bills. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
And we almost beat the Bills. Without
that's
like,
right. They were in the running.
players.
They were in the running until the last week. So yeah, no, I think as far as what we're looking at, as
a healthy
AFC,
Dolphin team wins the Super Bowl. I'm telling you.
If they do, it would be pretty wild
Against
considering
who?
how tough the division is.
Against who?
Against who?
I think the Bears.
Bears?
No.
Leo?
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm coming with a
Because
bold prediction.
it's either
Are
the
you
Bears
ready?
or the Eagles. Because in reality, nobody else in the NFC has done anything wild and crazy.
I read the script. Dolphins, Cowboys, Super Bowl.
The insiders told him Dolphins, Cowboys.
I don't think the Cowboys have it this year. I think they've
Dolphins.
disintegrated. I think I think they're folding in because they're trying to do I think they're trying to do something to where they can just get rid of Dak come next year because it's the last year of his contract anyway. So I think it's either if it's going to be the NFC, it's going to come out of either the East or the North, and that's the Bears or the Eagles.
You think the Bears are going to be good?
Yes. Yeah, the Bears are going to surprise a lot of people this year, especially with the Packers reeling in as bad as they are. The Vikings, this draft to them, they were almost as laughable. I mean, the NFC North, other than the Bears, was literally a laughingstock. The Packers they drafted terrible. Nobody knew what they were doing, why they were doing it, nothing. It's just, honestly, I don't think it's going to be because these teams that actually make it out are going to be so awesome. I think it's going to be another weak NFC going up against another strong AFC. The AFC looks stronger. The NFC looks weaker than it did last year. As far as what I'm looking at right now, from the start of the offseason.
I'm just trying to think of who the Bears have. I'm just trying to think of who the Bears have.
Yeah, but you're making it sound like they're playing quality competition and the NFC is weak.
Once you get to the playoffs, then you have to play quality competition.
Your quality competition is either going to be the Eagles, the Cowboys,
I don't see the Bears.
Maybe the Seahawks if Geno gets his act
together. I don't
together.
see the Bears beating either the 49ers or the Eagles.
They will this year. They have the tools to do it, and they have this is what they were building for.
Though? Like who? Like who do they have a white?
Like you haven't been paying attention at all to their offseason. That's right. You're a homer. You only watch the Dolphins.
I'm like, but name players, bro, because I can't think of anybody on the wide receiver core there other than Darnell Mooney, and he's invisible. Justin Fields is that whole Bears offense.
They added pieces. Let me see.
Let me put this up. I'll give it to you that David Montgomery is a good running back, but he gets hurt. He's prone to injury.
He's prone. Put up the facts, Leo.
Yeah, Leo.
Let me see. Here have been their free agent signings. And I'm not even going to put up their Their draft. Okay. Nathan Peterman to sit behind Justin Fields. Dylan Cole at linebacker. Deontay Foreman at running back. Robert Tonyan at tight end. Andrew Billings at defensive tackle. PJ Walker, again, to sit at third string. Travis Homer as running back. DeMarcus Walker, defensive end. Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker. Nate Davis, they've beefed up their offensive line. TJ Edwards out of the linebacker core. Yeah, they've been building up their trenches.
They're plotting on the Leo Hunter.
Yeah, no, Hunter's looking for superstar. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for who's their number one wide receiver. Who's their number one running back?
You know what Leo just named you? Leo just named you a solid 7-10 Bears team right there.
Okay, all right. So when the Bears win the conference and the Dolphins don't win anything,
okay,
I don't want to hear.
They'll win their division because it'll be weak. Maybe it'll be like the NFC East that year. The Commanders came out of it 8-9. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe they ain't gonna beat no.
Let's see.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Okay, all right.
The Bears couldn't even beat us last year when the Dolphins weren't even at their best.
I'm not saying that you're not listening. That's fine. I don't care anymore.
Oh, that's right. They did. They got that DJ Moore.
They got DJ Moore.
Yeah, I remember. I had DJ Moore on my fantasy squad.
They're
one
making
time,
acquisitions. They've beefed up their defensive box. They're beefing up their offensive line. They're gonna make a run. I'm not saying they're gonna win the Super Bowl, even if they make the conference. And chances are they're gonna be a 9-8 team or a 10-7 team that gets to the Super Bowl out of that conference and loses because no one in the NFC can stand right now. I'm telling you, the AFC got a whole lot stronger as of right now, as of January to now. Right now, the AFC is a powerhouse, and the NFC just looks like a bunch of weak nobodies trying to put. It's going to be it's Niners, 3 or 4. It's top tier heavy, and don't talk to me about no Brock Purdy. That's not happening.
The Niners, you've got the Niners.
I don't care. The Niners, if the Niners have Brock Purdy as their starter,
they're going to be a problem again. The Eagles are going to be a problem.
Correct.
I think the Vikings get
but they have no running back. They've killed their entire wide receiver core. They've beefed up their defense. That's all good and great. But I'm sorry. The 49ers, that's a lost cause. Don't even bring them up anymore.
We're going to exit them out of this.
The only team out of the NFC West is the only team that's actually building anything, and that's the Seahawks. Maybe. But no. It's just out of all of that weakness, like if you get diarrhea and you have like some poop that's going to be left over when you sift it, it's going to be like 3 or 4 teams, and the Bears is among them. But that doesn't mean that they stack up against even mid-tier AFC teams.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I see CJ Stroud leading them Panthers to an NFC championship. Nah, I'm just kidding. He's
just pulling out names now. He's like, man, I see. You know what I see? I see Daniel Jones running the Giants down the tunnel into the Super Bowl. Hell no, that team still needs some serious rebuilding.
I see the Niners. I see the Niners still being relevant in the NFC. I see the Eagles being a problem.
I don't see the Niners being relevant. Not with Brock Purdy.
Leo, I'll even go as far as saying that the Rams come back to relevancy.
Oh.
Okay, let's see what happens there. I'm hoping you're right. Listen, I'm hoping that some of these teams get their heads out of their collective asses and actually do something. I like the direction that the Giants are going. The Giants are going in a really good direction. They drafted well. They're doing really good in their offseason acquisitions. But even then, they're still not building a team that can contend with either the Eagles or even the Cowboys at this point. They're still a step behind. That's what I see when I see the Giants.
Agree.
But they got ahead of the Vikings. They're ahead of the Packers. They're ahead of just name the team. They're definitely ahead of the Lions right now. So even again, you take what you sift, and what you're left with is not much. And even that can't contend with mid-tier AFC teams.
Good start.
Yeah, I would definitely say that the Super Bowl will probably be won by the AFC next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
For sure. Because, the Dolphins. It's happened, Leo. I'm gonna say it, bro. You know what? I should do that. I should put on our page. Gonna post a video every day until it happens. The Dolphins are gonna win the Super Bowl.
All right. 20 years later.
Hey, now
This is their year. This is their year to get it. If
We're
they
not
don't
the
get it
Knicks,
this year,
man.
it's gonna be tough. No,
If we don't get
it,
I think
they
they're gonna
have
pull
to.
through.
sell the team, sell the team.
Yeah, if they don't get it this year, they're gonna be out of playoff contention for a while because literally they
They've
sold
been
their soul
pulling
for this
through
team.
for us.
Absolutely.
This is our
Well, that will conclude this edition of the pregame warm up. Be sure to give us a follow on Instagram.
Oh wait,
at
Leo,
the
let me
official-
quickly press the end broadcast button.
Oh, he was ending the show. Everybody, touch buttons. Woo! All right. Be sure to give us a follow at Instagram at @theofficial_lodge_. Also, don't forget to catch us in action, the Lions Den, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard. And then always be tuned in. You never know when that midday check-in is going to appear. And thank you, lovely Nikita, for being with us today. And as always, you have been listening to your pregame warm-up.